Right, if you're preparing for your ICF credentials, you are on the right video. I've just made this video because I recently passed and I have turned to be a PCC, and I wanted to share with you my experience. So three things I will encourage all of you to do that. Before the exam, there are certain things you need to take care. During the exam, there are certain things you need to take care. And after the exam, there are certain things you need to do, right? So before the exam, I would say find a buddy. That's the best thing to happen in the start of the exam. While you're preparing for exam, have someone who's also doing the same exam, and it's wonderful to have conversations and discuss what's your preparation like and what the other person's preparation is. If you don't have someone, then I would encourage all of you to get a coach, do a coaching conversation on how you're thinking of preparing for exam, and I think that will help you think aloud a lot and clear your head. So that's the other thing I would say. If you're signing up for the online center, which is center at home, or going to the exam center, I would encourage you, do it at home or do it in your PC, maybe at office, whatever is convenient to you. All you need is a private space for some time. Initially I thought there's a proctor who's going to watch me and all that, so it could be very daunting. So it's nothing like that. It's just a small window of video which is recording you as it is. Of course, there's somebody who just chats with you initially, and the process is pretty simple because you have to do an initial test to see if your system is working, and then on the day of the exam you just do the test again so that you know their system is working. And then half an hour before, when you log in, the interesting things which the person view you know center has created for you is an online mobile app. So the mobile app helps you to click snaps around your space to make sure that they see that everything is clear, there's no paper and things like that, and just upload that from your mobile. Is pretty simple, and then keep moving on to the desktops, and you come with the proctor who's chatting with you initially. He or she is not personally visible to you at any point in time, and while the exam is happening, there's nobody around, just a small window which is right up front on your top of the center of your screen, and it's just recording you, so it just doesn't even bother you at all. So I felt it was quite good because I had a known environment, I had a known space which I had to get to, so it made it easier for me. And if that's possible, I think it's the best option for you to do that. The third things you need to do is, of course, prepare, and there are simple information which all of the websites and all the videos may have told you. So there are some online tests, free tests. I put them into the message for you, so do that. That's good enough, understanding the ICF competencies and knowing the ethical values. And I would encourage, if you have more time, you should do more coaching sessions where you are a coach and coaching someone on various topics, because experiencing doing coaching is much more powerful, and you will be able to relate to a lot of those competencies and the concepts much easily, right? So use that time. Even if you have to do some free coaching, go ahead and ask for pro bono coaching with somebody, right? So those will be good for you to prepare. I mean, don't have to over prepare and don't have to under prepare. The other thing I will tell you is that most of the scenarios in the exams are corporate setting scenarios. So if you do not have the experience of a corporate, or you don't have a background of corporate, I think you might find that challenging in understanding those situations. So I would encourage all of you to do those online tests. There are paid tests also. Do that so that you get an exposure of the language and understand the situations. If you have friends, colleagues who are working in corporate, ask them some of those scenarios so that you understand the background of that. So that's very important. I wonder why ICF has made it so centric to corporate. Of course, the next set of exams, whenever they plan again, they will change that. And you will see, when you read the scenarios, even the practice scenarios, you will see they use the word they and they are a lot, because they don't use gender. It's all gender neutral. So that's very important, because if you don't understand that, then the scenario can sound very, very different to you. And one more thing I would say is, have a practice of sitting for 2 hours. You know, if you're doing it at home, it's a familiar space, then ensure you do that for 2 hours, and do certain things, certain tasks for 2 hours continuously, at least 2 weeks or 1 week before the exam. Start practicing that, because it's a 4-hour exam. So 2 hours you need to sit continuously. And if you ideally do it in the scheduled time, if exam is at 10 in the morning, then if you practice sitting between 10 to 12, I think that will give your body accustomed to that kind of routine or the environment, right? So those are the things on before the exam which you need to do during the exam. So while during the exams, you will see there is a clock and a timer. A lot of people are talking about that, but it's not very daunting. It sits at the corner of the screen. It doesn't come and staring at you. So I don't think so that's very challenging. What is challenging is ensuring that you read the scenario and answer them quickly. So in my experience, I realized that if you read the scenarios first time right, that's good enough. Because if you reread it, you waste a lot of time. And chances are that sometimes you may have to reread it. So therefore, I made sure that I paid full attention to the sentence right at the beginning so that I understand that much more clearly. Because sometimes the language of coach is saying it or the client is saying it, those can be confusing for you. So just ensure you pay attention to that. And if you're unsure of anything, I think the best way, most of you may have heard about flagging it. So flag it. I did that. It was pretty easy for me to flag. And then typically I have experienced that you might get 10 minutes in the end where you can review. And even if you don't get time to review, at least you've done that. You answered those questions, so you should be rest assured. Both the situation in the section 1 and section 2, which are two sections, I got almost 10 minutes, but it all depends on you. Don't speed read, but read such once so that you understand those situations. The other thing I'll tell you is the exam purpose is to set you up for success. It's not created in such a manner that you fail. So if you've got your basics right and if you've got the base understanding, I don't think those scenarios are so daunting that you will not understand them, right? There are certain challenging situations, but it will be not so difficult. So those are the few things I will say you need to take care during the exam. After the exam, what I will encourage you to do is what I'm doing: record your insights, write a blog, or share with more and more people so that people can benefit. That's all. I would be more than happy to support you. If you have any comments or questions, I will look for that, and happy to help you in this. Thank you so much.